TelecomTV, where ICT connects.
Hello, welcome to TelecomTV. My name's Martyn Warwick and I'm reporting from Broadband World Forum 2013 here in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and I'm talking with Eduard Scheiterer, who is the Managing Director of Adtran. Edward, welcome. Thanks for giving us the time. Your company is one of those that has picked up some assets, patent assets, product assets from Siemens and the sale. Why did you do that and what did you get?
So first of all, thanks for inviting me to this interview.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure. My side as well. So back to your question. Adtran is quite a young company, 25 years old, headquartered in the US, and was mainly doing business in the United States.
Yep.
Quite successful. They are the market leader in the meantime in the United States, having all the tier 1 customer base. And I would say a couple of years ago they decided to expand into the rest of the world, so to say, from an American's viewpoint, and tried it on an organic way, by entering UK market or Australian or so to say the English-speaking regions on the globe. Finally, I think they concluded that is not good enough, not fast enough, and so when the opportunity came up to acquire the fixed access business from Siemens or Nokia Siemens Networks, actually,
as it was
a good opportunity, and they took it, and I myself, I am part of it. I'm quite happy about that, because this was almost the perfect match of two business entities in the sense of no customer overlap. Both parties strong position in the market. We had a very strong position in the European, Middle East, Africa market, also quite good in Asia Pacific. So perfect match. Also from an R&D perspective, same kind of culture. With that I mean understanding of quality, which is for us the top priority. So there was a perfect fit almost from all perspectives. And now we are part of Adtran for almost 2 years now, and very successful. We could secure our customer base. We could win new big deals. You probably have seen our third quarter result, which was excellent, and we want to keep it that way, hopefully. So I think that was an excellent move from Adtran in the US at the right time, taking the opportunity, and now we are focusing on fixed access or fixed wireless access, you have to say.
Yes.
Nowadays, this is our core business, and that's what we are doing.
Having said that, look at the explosion that's taking place in bandwidth and bandwidth expectations, perhaps because of the cloud being one major factor and others, but there's an enormous amount of data crossing networks now, wireline and wireless, particularly, that wasn't there before, video and data applications and so on. How does the network cope with it, and how are the service providers and network operators coping with it?
I was this morning listening to some of the keynotes from Ericsson and from our own CEO. It's really unbelievable, the requirements today to a network. And I think this is an extreme kind of stress for the operators to deal with this demand.
Sure.
I think from a technology perspective, the technology is available as such. I think the biggest challenge for them is to really transform their networks to a kind of unique all-IP network, with the required bandwidth, with smoothless transition from one access to another access point, whatever it is, fixed, wireless, mobile, doesn't really matter. I mean, that's what we as end user would like to see. So technology is there, but getting it deployed, I would say, is the big effort. And in context of that, it's usually what I see, the issue they face, it's their own IT. Yeah?
Yep.
Even when they would get out the physical network as needed,
Yep.
coping with the IT demand and managing such systems is the big deal. That's where SDN comes into the place. Yeah? Supposed to solve all these problems, but that's, I would say, is the biggest challenge for them. Not actually the network as such. Sure, also, I mean, you need to get out vectoring, G-fast, fiber. I think this is all well known. But managing such systems and deploying it, in my mind, is the biggest challenge. Yeah.
Let's talk briefly about SDN then, software-defined networks. What kind of an impact is that having, first of all, on the industry in general, and on you in Adtran? What kind of pressure is it putting on? Can you provide the necessary technology solutions that are needed, or is it a really difficult job sometime down the road, further into the future?
Well, the first answer is yes, we do. And I will give you a concrete example where I think actually we have been one of the leaders in the industry showing how to do that. But before coming to that, I think in the real world, when an operator has to deploy VDSL, vectoring, G.fast, fiber, to manage all of that in their IT environment is extremely difficult. And at the same time, they want to transform to a kind of flat IP network, getting rid of all the legacy, which is an extreme complex task for them. So that's I would say, the other stress point they have. How do I get rid of my legacy world? Now, when it comes to us, what we bring to the table, the best example I can share with you is our Wi-Fi solution from BlueSocket, which is another acquisition.
I know BlueSocket very well. I remember them very well.
So BlueSocket is part of us, and since you know BlueSocket, they have been one of the first ones putting the managing system software-based only, and nowadays you can put it in the cloud or wherever you want, actually. We are using it in our own enterprise. I can go everywhere, it works fine, it gets managed out of our Huntsville cloud. Also operators can do so, or whoever enterprises, large enterprises. So this is the first good example of what SDN could look like. Of course, this is a small one, an important one, because Wi-Fi is basic. And if we talk about fixed access nowadays, it's Wi-Fi.
I know, it seems counterintuitive in some ways, that, doesn't it? Fixed access Wi-Fi, just think, well, hang on, why do you need fixed access?
I think it's a misunderstanding of the fixed access. At the end, I mean, we all have families or so. They come with their pads and phones.
That's right.
None of them will plug in the fixed line at home anymore.
No,
that's
right.
history. So Wi-Fi is actually the fixed access in my mind.
Yes.
That's why we are pushing this technology forward, and that's a kind of a first good, real SDN kind of application.
So finally then, drawing this to a close, looking forward for Adtran and looking forward for the industry, you can't look very far forward because it's dangerous to do so. It's always banana skins out there. But looking forward 12, 18 months, what's next for Adtran, or where are you going to be focusing your efforts, and what's next for the network and for the service providers and operators?
Now, what we see and where the demand is on, so to say, on the physical network, it's right now all about vectoring. Vectoring is big time. Of course, then G-fast on the verge of getting close to be deployed. Maybe we could argue maybe in 2 years, in 1 year. Everybody is playing with the technology and testing it. So I think these are the next steps. Vectoring also in the sense of not only big systems, also small systems. Vectoring across sealed solutions. I think that's from a supplier perspective, you will see in the next 1 or 2 years all different kind of deployment scenarios. So from the cabinet down to the distribution point, actually in fiber in the home. I think that's what I see in the next 1 or 2 years, which will be our main business. of course, not to forget Wi-Fi as the extension, so to say, of the fixed access. Yeah?
Absolutely.
And then maybe we also should mention this one. If you look at the operator's network, also the endpoint,
Yep.
the CPE or
Yes.
whatever you want to call it, the end device is of high importance. Yeah? And there you also see a lot of innovations. Actually, also on this show you see some nice innovations where it's basically put in a plug and that's it.
Off it goes. Well, I'm a good mind to come back and see you in a year's time and find out what's changed. But in the meantime, we will. Eduard Scheiterer, thank you very much indeed.
TelecomTV, where ICT connects.